Kuga MK1. Recently I did a video on this already. Basically it had problems with its brake caliper. One no laser piston back, easy enough, and I demonstrated how to do that or what the issues could be with that. The best of my abilities, obviously just making it on a phone, to show people out there how easy it can be done, I guess, or what parts you could learn from it. Recently also front tyres needed replaced, and I've replaced them. As you can see, looking a little better now. And basically I needed a brake cable. That's where I was inexperienced at fitting the brake cable myself, so basically I need to get someone to do it. And recently discovering, going into the garage after making my video, that I kind of thought maybe the springs would probably need to be done next as well, and clearly it was the case, because one of them, this side here, is fine, but the other side, well, it needed replaced. As you can see, brand new spring at the end there. So I've got a new spring at the end. Now in order to get that new spring in, they've got to, one way the mechanics do it is they loosen off the struts, these things here, because they're easy to get to. Now I originally thought someone of the garage were done with it, but now further investigation, whether the garage knew about it or no, they probably maybe didn't want to tell me, because they knew it'd be more money for a strut. So they've just kind of botched it up now. They probably have covered it up, because basically knowing the amount of money I spent just to get the car back on the road again, they probably didn't want to hit me with another bill of about 100 odd quid for basically getting a strut done next. But I could probably do it myself between 60 and 80 bucks. It's quite simple, it's just one bolt at the bottom and two bolts at the top. But anyway, as I was driving the car, basically a couple of days after the car had been fixed, suddenly getting this massive dong, 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 every time I'm driving, and it's quite annoying actually. I kept on moving things about in the boot, thinking, what the hell is this rattling in the back of my boot? Couldn't find the solution, but then after about a day or two of driving, I thought that's what it must be. Either the other spring snapped, or this one of the struts are away next. Doing my preliminary investigations, as you can see the right side where it was actually the noise was coming from, you can see right away it's got play left and right. Now first thing I believed in was the fact that they've not put the bolts in blooming right, and basically they're starting to unwind and basically fall out. That's what they've done, or they've not put them in at all. But now doing more preliminary investigations and looking into the vehicle, as you can see going underneath it, the bolts are still in it. So I'm just trying to get a best angle as possible here. You can clearly see the bolts are in it. One there, that's how easy it is. You can also see that the strut top part up here is snapped. Same with the other side as well. It's snapped up here. So clearly it needs a new strut. I don't know if you can just buy the strut top cap for it, or whatever they call them. But that's all it is just two blooming bolts that need to be taken out. I don't know if you can get the top cap for it, but once they replace A2, hopefully stop getting the clunking noise. So basically I need to replace this underneath and the bottom of the strut in order to replace this. So a new strut part will need to be required. But as you can see, play. Does it seriously affect the car? No really, but it's going to be bloody noisy. Listen to that clunking noise till I get a new strut. I reckon the part costs between 60 and 80 bucks. I take probably about an hour fitting it myself. Probably even that. The hardest probably bit would be right now is probably taking the bolts out of it now. I'll probably be better taking the bolts out of it. So at least that way I can. It's just a matter of just fitting the whole thing all together, and that'll be the end of it. But so that's the issue we do have. It now needs a new strut now. The car is 10-year-old. I expect that with a car. But since the 3 years I had it and it's almost paid off now, just seems to be one thing after another now, with just silly wee things. I managed to keep the cost down as much as possible. In 3 years I've actually priced it all up. The car's probably cost me about £1,500, and basically repairs out of the 3 years that I've had it, so probably about £500 a year. So it hasn't been too bad, £500 a year in repairs, but it just seems like this is the start. Thank God that this is the last year of the payments, or the last 6 months of payments, and then that's it. The car's mine, but I reckon I'll get about another year or two of this, man. I'll need to see about trading it in for another vehicle, because clearly there's just one issue after another, man. Now it's a good vehicle. Ford seem to be quite good so far. I've not had any problems with Ford compared to like well, my Vectra cost a hell of a lot of money to get fixed year after year. The parts were generic, really good to get a hold of, easy to find loads of Vectras, but does that not tell you something? GMC motors are just utter crap. Well, the majority of them can be crap from my experience, and that's really it. Just now needs a new strut. There's not much more I can do, so hopefully this has helped someone out there and realising how easy it is to identify the issues and basically remove the 2 bolts. But removing the 2 bolts, well, that's another story. We'll soon find out that in another time.